Okay, today continues our class Shabbos Kitchen. This is class number 22. We start with Sefer Chofetz Chaim. And big topic is the same, avak rechilus. So avak means dust of rechilus. Okay. So topic, today's topic is seeking assistance. When seeking a person's assistance, be it financial or otherwise, one may not mention that he knows of others who receive similar assistance from this individual, unless the individual is known to appreciate the publicity of the fact. So, what does it mean? So a person is generous. Maybe he wanted to be generous with somebody else, and he does not want to be generous with other person. Maybe he does not like. So now when somebody else is going to come and say, but you actually helped this and this person, but now you don't want to help me. So that's the issue, right? So you put this person in a bad situation. I mean the donor. This rule is based on a concern that the person may not want to want his charitable act to become public knowledge. Now all of the crooks from all over the world are going to come and ask him, right? As this could bring about the endless barrage of requests for assistance, right? As we said, by mentioning his having made the contribution to a certain person, one reveals that the recipient shared the information with others, which may cause the donor to upset with the recipient. So it's very it's very common if you think about it. So if I help somebody, and this maybe it was whatever I wanted to help that specific person. Now he went and he was very grateful that I helped him, and he went to all the other people and told them, and these other people came to me and said, "How come I came to you 2 weeks ago? You say that you don't have any money to lend me, and now you lend such a big amount to another person." 2 days later, right? That's a big issue. When the reference to the recipient is made to bolster his own request, one's own request, and not to cause animosity, it's categorized as avak rechilus. So avak rechilus meaning that one person would be feel bad, feel grudge about another person, have a grudge about someone else. Okay, we start here. Okay, so continues Shabbos Kitchen. And all right, so today we start in a new topic, chapter 20, if somebody is following. Topic is tying and untying knots. Okay, now part number one, introduction. Both tying and untying knots are forbidden under the Avos Melachos of kosher. Tying and matir, untying. So we all together, just to remind, we have 39 Melachas, and those two of them, tying knots and untying. Okay. The Halachos of tying and untying knots involve many details, including what constitutes a knot and the difference between permanent and temporary knots. See the Shabbos Home Volume 1, chapters 13 and 14, for a lengthy discussion of this Halachos. In this chapter, we will merely present common application of tying and untying that pertain to the kitchen. So, in few words, I would not know what class is it on, but it's for sure it's online in a list of what was it? Volume 1, chapter 2. It's in the laws of Shabbos, right? If you go to Beezrat HaShem, laws of Shabbat, and in a list, I'm not sure what class will be, but it is there for sure. So tying and untying knots. So we said there that a person cannot tie professional knot, permanent knot, and we said what is a permanent knot? That it's going to last for 1 day, let's say, right? And of course we had leniency that one can rely on the leniency up to 7 days. Right, so you have to untie the knot. Okay, so and the most common example about knots is shoelaces. So there is no problem with shoelaces, even though when you tie with one knot and a bow, it's not going to get undone by itself. easily, right? But we usually untie the shoelaces when we come home, so there is no problem. But tie something that is going to stay. For example, if you have a garbage bag, right? So you're not allowed to tie the garbage bag, because why? It is for sure it's permanent. Okay, but okay, it's just a little summary. Of course, we spent a few hours. I don't know how many hours, but we spent several hours on learning these topics. So this book is about only the application to kitchen, Shabbos kitchen. So that's what we're going to learn. So part number 2, practical application, opening parcels. A knot is considered permanent and forbidden biblically if it's a type that is usually left intact permanently. It is considered somewhat permanent and forbidden rabbinically if one is tied with intention that remain intact for 24 hours. Right? So, so 24 hours, as we said, it's forbidden rabbinically, but in the case of shoelaces, so we said that it's going to be less than 24 hours. Okay. So, but something that is would be like tied permanently, I would say maybe it's a good example when you buy cookies and pastries from the bakeries. They put it in your special like box and put cover, right, and tie it with a string. So of course, I think they even put the double knot. So if they put double knot, for sure you're not allowed to untie. That's what we're talking about here. So the basic rule is whatever you're not allowed tie on Shabbos, you're not allowed to untie. Okay, continue. Nowadays, most of the people who receive tied up parcels do not bother to untie a knot, but merely cut the string. Therefore, the knot on a parcel must be considered as permanent one. According to one who received the parcel and that is knotted, should not undo the knot on Shabbos, but should cut the string in destructive fashion. Okay, for example, if one purchased box of matzahs that were tied up and knotted, he should not undo the knot on Shabbos. Rather, he should cut the string with a knife in destructive manner. So it's a good example. It's if you buy shmura matzah, the round one, the real one, right? So that's what they do, right? Everything is done there manually. They put in a box. They tie with a string, as in olden days. They do it till this day, right? So that's example of the permanent knot. So of course, you want this matzah. Let's say it's Shabbos Pesach, so you're not allowed to untie. You have to cut it with a knife, with the scissors. Okay. Continue. B. Tying and untying bags. Tying. When closing a plastic bag, there is a, for example, for a food storage bag or a trash bag on Shabbos, one must bear in mind that many common methods of tying bags are forbidden, some of them biblically. So, okay, so now we go in the most common application. Looks like it's this tying bags, not only garbage bag, but this food. So let's see what is forbidden. It is forbidden to gather the two ends on the top of a bag and tie them in double knot. Okay, so maybe I'll get it back. Let's see if I have it back here. I'll show you what does it mean. Okay. So the first method is like this. So gather the string and make one knot and make another knot. So double knot, this is forbidden. Continue. It is forbidden to gather top of the bag and tie it into itself in a single knot. So now we're talking about different knots. So let me untie it. Second. So I have this bag and I'll tie like this. Second. Tie like this. around itself and put it through like this. So this would be okay. This would be number 2, which is forbidden biblically. It is forbidden to tie a trash bag with a single knot and a bow, even if one intends to untie it in 24 hours, since the trash bag usually left tied permanently. So he said, no, what's the problem? I do exactly I do with my shoes, right? So with shoelaces. So I do one knot and a bow. So of course it is forbidden. Why? People forget. D. It is forbidden to tie a food storage bag with a single knot and a bow, unless one specifically intends to undo it in 24 hours. So I would say it depends on the food. Usually, the way I understand, even if you do one knot, right, and then tackle the ends under the package, it would be good enough. Okay, but for sure it's forbidden. One knot and a bow. Why? Because people forget. Okay, unless they say one specifically intends to undo it within 24 hours. Maybe it's a food that they're going to eat for Melacha, let's say. Okay, so I would say it's understandable. Continue. The specific intent is necessary. The specific intent is necessary because such as bag are frequently left unknotted for more than 24 hours. The only permitted way of tying trash bag or food storage bag that remain tied for more than 24 hours is gathering 2 ends on the top, a double tight and single knot. So single knot is always permitted. Why is that? Because it's not permanent. It's easy to get undone. So that's the reason. So it's very interesting. Okay, we learn. Continue. Number 2, untying. So as we mentioned before, 2 separate melachas, tying and untying. It is forbidden to untie any knot that would be forbidden to tie. Thus, one may not untie, right? A food storage bag whose top was gathered together and tied into itself in single knot. The way I show you in number 2. So they go in a different order. B, a food storage bag whose top was tied with 2 ends gathered together, double knot. So of course, double knot we said it's permanent knot. So A was permanent knot, and this is permanent knot. So we said before, what are we not allowed to tie? You're not allowed to untie. Number 3, the food storage bag that was tied with a knot and a bow that was intended to remain intact for more than 20 hours. So meaning what? It was like that before Shabbos, right? They tie and leave it like that for more than 24. So the way I understand, maybe they tie. I mean, maybe they tie the garbage bag, and it's like, let's say it was half empty, and then now they have some smelly garbage they want to put in that bag. Okay, so maybe so since it was tied with intention to leave it like that for more than 24 hours, so you're not allowed to untie. If bag, food storage, or trash is tied with one of these knots, one should tear it open in destructive fashion. If there is letters or picture printed on the back, one must be careful not to tear through them. See chapter 17. Okay, so let's understand. So let's say I have my pita bread in such a bread, in such a bag, and now I need my pita bread. So what do? I would not tear it with my hands. Why? Because usually there are letters on this bag also. Thank you. It says right. So you would not allow to tear, right? Why not allowed to tear? Because one of the 39 Melachos, you're not allowed to to erase letters, right? And not allowed to erase letters. So in tearing is erasing letters. Okay, right. So what do? You take scissors and cut it nicely and throw out the bag. So to show that you don't want this bag, but you want only the food. Okay, so one more time, we don't untie those knots. Okay. Do you have any questions about what we said? Okay, so continue. Section C. Tying and untying twist ties. Tying and twist tie. I'm not sure if I have here. See, I did not know we're going to learn. But let me check. I don't have here twist tie, but technically the like piece of wire, and you just twist on the top of the bag. But of course, it's those not things that we understand as knots on one hand, right? But on another hand, that's it's going to stay in place forever, let's say, right? So tying a twist tie. A, more than 24 hours. According to some authority, twisting a twist tie tightly more than once is included in Melacha of kosher. Kosher meaning what does it mean? Time, right? So even if you do one time, since it's usually metal wire inside, it's not going to undone by itself, right? So even they say even one time. Therefore, if one intends to leave a bag closed for 24 hours, thereby make it impermanent, he should not close it more than once with a twist tie. Commentary. Note, some authorities rule that tying with a twist tie was never included in the Melacha of tying. It is the best, however, to abide by strict review. Okay, so some authorities say it's not like a tie. Tying meaning like with the knots. And this is, even though it is called tying, but it's without the knots. So some authorities say there is no problem. We're always trying to go by strict review, right? If it's possible, because everybody would agree to strict review. Not everybody would agree to lenient view, as we just saw, but to strict review, everybody would agree. Okay. Okay, but this when we say strict review, it's according to Shulchan Aruch, to Paskim, not according to some people who try to be more holy and they spend their energy on useless things, trying to think that they're holy, but opposite is true. Okay, so B, within the 24 hours. So 24 hours, we said it's a problem, according to some poskim, within the 24 hours. If, however, he intends to untie the twist tie within 24 hours, it is permitted to tie the bag closed using twist tie. For example, on Friday night, if one is storing his challah in a bag to be used on Shabbos morning meal, right? He may close the bag with a twist tie and twist the tie more than once. Okay, so I mean, even I don't know, once twice is enough. It's not going to, as we said, undone by itself. It's a metal wire. But this is a good example. So, person is not going to miss on tie because why? He needs challah for tomorrow morning, for Shabbos morning. Continue. C. Satisfying all opinions. Here we go. In order to satisfy all of the opinions and avoid the prohibition altogether, one may wind the tie several times around the bag rather than twisting the ends of the tie together. This is not the act of tying and therefore permitted even according to strict review. See below. Okay. Alternatively, one may twist the tie only once, which is also according to all views. So let me try to understand. To explain to you. Okay. So this is the back. So they have they say take twist tie, it just wind around, right? Since it's metal, we said it's going to hold, and it's safe. This thing. So according to all opinion, this is not considered to be tying, or they say one twist or half a twist. I would say still is going to help. Continue. Untying a twist tie. It is forbidden to untie the twist tie that was tied in a forbidden manner there is that it was meant to remain closed for more than 24 hours. Instead, one should either slide the twist tie off, cut the tie, or rip the back. Okay. So here's the food. Maybe they were not planning to use it for today, right, for tonight. I don't know, whatever happened. So, and something is closed with the twist tie. They say try to slip it off, right? I think it's a good idea. Another one you can cut, right, in the place where you have this twist tie. Just cut a little, right, together with the twist tie, or rip the back. So, but when we rip the back, as we said before, must be careful not to tear the letters. Letters or pictures, it doesn't have any difference. Same. Okay, so we finished that one. Any questions on what we said? Okay, no problem. So we're going to chapter number 21 then. If you have questions, you can interrupt. Opening packages. Number 1, introduction. There are various prohibitions related to opening sealed boxes, cans, containers, packages, boxes. I'm sorry. One more time. I misread one word. There are various prohibitions related to opening sealed bottles, cans, containers, packages, boxes, bags, packets, etc. Therefore, it is preferable that all bottles, cans, containers, boxes, bags, etc. open before Shabbos. So we spoke about them many times. Unless you're a big Talmid Chacham and you know all of these ways how to open these things permissible, and even if you do know, it's very, very, very much recommended to open everything, whatever you need on Shabbos. So if you're not open, maybe you don't need it. That's my recommendation. Of course, there are ways to open, but it has to be done in a very specific way, and some of them are dangerous, I would say. Okay, so let's see. There's one commentary. Certain types of packaging do not need to be opened before Shabbos, right? And it would not be practical to do so. Okay, we'll see what. They include small sweetener and condiment packets. Okay, ice pops on a stick. So let's try to understand it before we continue. So they say, okay, most of the packages, if you have I don't know, packages, cans, you must open before Shabbos. But some of them they say not practical. What is not practical? Sweetener. What is it? Sweet and low, whatever it's called. The sugar. It's a small packets. Usually sugar, it's cheaper to buy. I don't know, in a big bag, right? So let's say sweet and low. So if you're going to open and leave it like that, maybe insects are going to come. Maybe somebody is going to knock it off. So not a good idea. So you can leave it whenever you need to drink your tea or coffee. On one hand, on another hand, you must be very careful when you open, not to tear through the letters. Very careful. So especially, I would say, mostly elderly people use those, right? Who have high sugar most of the time, and they tear. I saw many times through the letters. Unfortunately, nobody stopped them. I always try to tell them. They say, "How come, Rabbi? I've been going to the shul for 20 years. This Rabbi is such a nice person, never told me, and now you told me." I say, "Okay." I mean, people don't learn, and they're offended when somebody is trying to help them. Actually, basically, I mean that's a biblical Melacha to erase the letters. Okay. So, but this sweetener, okay, there is a possibility. If you, I mean, why I mentioned elderly people, the hands might be shaking, and it would not be so easy for them to open this sweetener, let's say. Right? And condiment packets, okay. These condiment packets also, it's not so easy, right? Because so condiment, what would be kind of like a ketchup, a small packet. I think that there are writings. like all around. So also a big problem. Got to be careful. Of course, you can use scissors and cut it, but of course, as authors say, it's not practical to open before. Ice pops, yeah, also ice pop. If you open them before Shabbos, maybe they're going to stick together or something. I don't know. So there are ways to open it in a kosher way. Ice pop on the sticks. Continue. Which have already been separated from each other and have no letters or meaningful designs. Oh, so this eye pops, okay, no letters or meaningful design. Maybe they sold in a box, so it's a plain white packaging, right? Wrapper, no problem. Lollipops without the letters. Lollipops is another issue. So they give kids this lollipop in the shoe, and that's a big issue. Right? They simply tear the cover open. Okay. And the second issue with the lollipops and with chips and other things, because it is glue shut, right? And there is a problem. Why is it a problem? We have Melacha of sewing. All right, so you cannot sew. And then they say that doesn't matter. You sew with a needle and a thread, or you do, like the definition of Melacha is you're taking two materials, whether from the same fabric or whatever material, pliable material, of course, or from different, right? And you stick them together. It could be with a needle and a thread, or it could be with a glue. Doesn't make any difference, right? So you are now to sew, and then you're not allowed to unsew, if you can say that. You are not allowed to rip. Okay. Okay. So lollipops without letters. Okay. The foil coverage on a yogurt or Leib or applesauce containers. So okay. So on yogurts you have this thing that covers this this plastic cup, so that there is no problem. I mean. Nobody usually do it in advance, of course. So you can do it on Shabbos. Just careful without cutting any letters. Okay. Applesauce containers. I'm not sure. Maybe in some applesauce containers they also have this membrane. Maybe, I guess. Wine bottles. Wine bottles, I'm not sure what is the problem. Probably with the plastic, but we can remove at least the plastic. So in all kosher bottles, I mean, in most of them, they done in such a way that you are able to open them on Shabbos. I guess all of them, but I'm not sure. So the problem would be also in a cork that is inside, right? Even if there are letters on top of the cork, so you're not allowed to open it for sure, because you're going to ruin the cork. Okay. Okay. Kishke and or salami. Kishke probably because it's in a plastic, and salami is the same. The corks on the wine or champagne bottles. Okay. So champagne, I would say. The problem with champagne would be the twist tie. I'm not sure why didn't I mention, but it would be an issue. Okay, so continue. So one more time, we're on the topic opening packages. In the following pages, we will outline the relevant prohibitions, as we will produce as well the producers to follow, procedures to follow. I'm sorry, procedures to follow. In the event the packages were not open on Shabbos, so one more time, it's proper to open everything before Shabbos. Right? But as we said, there is a solutions. We will also go into detail regarding those and do not have to open before Shabbos, and how one is permitted to open those packages listed above. Okay, we're going to talk about it. One cannot extrapolate the halacha from one item to another, but must follow the procedure outlined in each specific item. So, what the author is saying here, so sometimes, right? Once you know one halacha, you technically can extrapolate another one, right? Since you know the rationale, so you can apply that rationale, and that's what we call das wisdom, right? That you can learn one thing from another. But the author said not here. All these containers, all types of containers, totally separate, totally different. Okay. Number 2, prohibitions. A, demolition. Biblical prohibition. The Av Melacha of Soiseir, the demolition on any object or any part of the object for the beneficial purpose. For example, one who removes a nail from the wall so that the people will not get hurt, well, that's the biblical prohibition of demolition. Since he has removed it for a beneficial purpose. We actually discussed it. It's in another volume. We discussed it some time ago. So let's try to understand. So the biblical Melacha is to demolish something for beneficial purpose. What is the beneficial purpose? In order to build something on its place. Okay, that's biblical, the original Melacha. Let's put it this, original Melacha. Now, they say that definition of demolition, any object for beneficial purpose. So, meaning that if I open in the can of tuna, right, I ruining that can of tuna, right? By why? For beneficial purpose, because I care about the content, right? That's for sure. Falls under this prohibition, right? So let's see. Continue. Rabbinic prohibition. Although, as mentioned, the biblical law applies only if done for beneficial purposes, the sages extended the prohibition to include even demolition without constructive purpose. So it's actually not only in this Melacha, but everywhere. Person is not going to get killed for violation of Shabbos unless he did it for beneficial purpose. Right. So if he did it just in destructive or in the destructive manner or without thinking, so it's he's not going to get death penalty. But still, our rabbis forbid it anyway. So continue. Number 3, items thrown out. The prohibition of sosea does not apply to items that are made to be thrown out after serving their purpose. For example, when opening a soda cup, one is performing Melacha of sosea. There is a breaking cup from the ring. However, since the cup is thrown out after one is finished using it, the Melacha does not apply. Nevertheless, it's know that it is rabbinically prohibited to break something for no reason at all, even if the object will be thrown away. It should be noted that even in Melacha of Saser does not apply. When opening the bottle cup, other prohibitions do apply. Okay. So I think that's probably the most famous one about this soda cup or juice, right? So the problem is that it has this ring, right, on the bottom. It has a ring, so you have on the neck of the bottle you have a ring, and when you unscrew the cup, it's going to break off from the ring. That's the issue, right? So it's like you're breaking two things for a beneficial purpose, and some even say that you create a new vessel. What is new vessel? The cup. So now it's usable. Before it was attached to the ring, it was not usable. You would not be able to take it out, put it in. So on one hand, it is disposable. On the other hand, you're violating the biblical rabbinical Melacha. So we're going to see what is the solution. Be tirin, Korea. Number 1, the biblical prohibition. Okay. The Melacha of Korea is defined as steering any soft material for constructive purpose. Let's see Shabbos. So we'll also discuss it in not regarding kitchen, but in our classes. Other classes, I recommend very much to new people who join us to watch these classes. So it's a lot of information. All of them, all of it, of course, very, very useful. Okay. Okay, so tearing. So meaning some people like tear, like let's say some people like sit around the table and they play with a napkin, right? And they tear the napkin. So of course it's not for any constructive purpose. They don't intend to produce two napkins out of one. But even though it is true, it is prohibited rabbinically. Rabbinic prohibition. The sages decreed that it is forbidden to tear even destructively. Okay, one line. Same reason applied to toilet paper, right? It's actually two issues with tearing the toilet paper and with paper towels, right? So we don't tear the toilet paper on Shabbos. We pre-tear before, and same with paper towels. You just tear as much as you need, prepare, and use it on Shabbos. And same with all other things, like let's say aluminum foil. We don't tear aluminum foil on Shabbos. We don't tear plastic on Shabbos, plastic wrap. It's all forbidden. So you prepare before Shabbos and use it, no problem. Continue, number 3. Tearing destructively to obtain Shabbos necessity. The sages did not prohibit tearing in destructive manner for the purpose to obtaining something necessary for Shabbos use. So here we go. Our sages forbade it, and they give us the leniency. What is considered tearing destructively will be described in practical applications. Okay, so let's try to understand. So if people forgot to open all of the packages, all of the cans and containers and jars on Shabbos, before Shabbos, so they can open it destructively. We're going to see how. See final hammer blow, make bepatish. So that's actually about this battle lead. The biblical Melacha make bepatish included various actions. So make bepatish, for those who do not know, it's the last strike with a hammer. So we strike last time and we finish the utensil. So before that it was useless, right? And after we did whatever we did, it became usable. So the example, simple example, you have a broomstick, and broom head. So they separately. So you screwed up the broomstick into the broom head, and now it's usable. Now you can use it, no problem. You can sweep the floor. Right, so it would be forbidden, not because it's forbidden to sweep the floor, but because it is forbidden to do this last act. Number 1, completing an article, perfecting it, or making it usable. Okay, completing, as we said, maybe this broomstick is a good example. Perfecting it, making it usable. Okay, number 2, making an opening in an item. So this is a different issue. Like every time when we open something that was closed shut before, so we open we're making an opening. That's a separate prohibition. And number 3, creating a spout in order to pour liquid. Creating a spout, I would say, in old style, what is it? Milk containers, like cardboard, right? So you tear open, you make a spout, and you start pouring. It was in I don't know when they switched to the cups. I'm not sure. Maybe 15 years ago, 10 years. I have no idea. But in some places they still use the old style. When you're making a spout. So this making a spout, separate prohibition. Making an opening. So meaning when you open, let's say, can of tuna, for sure you're making an opening. It was closed shut before. So making an opening. So let's see, 1 second. Did I miss anything? So we're going through all these possible issues. So let's see. So A, it was demolition. B was tearing. C was final hammer blow, marking the package. D is cutting. The biblical Melacha of cutting is defined as cutting, tearing, chopping, or breaking of an item with intention to benefit from the new size or shape. For example, tearing a plastic tablecloth on a roll to a specific size. So one more time, and we're going to explain. The biblical Melacha of cutting is defined as cutting, tearing, chopping, breaking of an item with intention to benefit from the new size. So that's all like our toilet paper, our paper towels, our aluminum foil, plastic wrap, all of these things, right, would fall under this prohibition. So, and it's, of course, it's for constructive purpose here, all of this, right? When somebody just sitting around the table and has nothing else to do and tear the napkin, so it would be forbidden rabbinic. Continue, erasing, mochek. It's E, right? It is biblically forbidden to erase any type of script for a constructive purpose. So constructive purpose, so we say when you want to write something on top of it, that's constructive purpose. The sages, however, forbade any erasing, even for no constructive purpose. Right? We said in our previous classes. So see also chapter 17 in this volume, for examples of how the Melacha applies to food. Okay, so we said in all of these cases about the cakes, right? And they have, let's say, they have happy birthday sign. So you're not allowed to erase it. So you have to cut through the letters, or cut like the whole cream, the whole top piece, right? And with the sliver, little more, and remove it, and you're allowed to eat it. Eating is not erasing, we said. Continue. Building, bonnet. It is biblically forbidden to build any type of permanent structure on Shabbos. While the rabbinic prohibition forbids building even a temporary structure, see chapter 25, we're going to get to it, though this does not apply to many cases of opening packages, it does apply to a specific instance. We'll see below. Okay, we're going to see. So one more time. So building, bonnet, it is biblically forbidden to build any type of permanent structure on Shabbos. So of course, I mean, we're not going to build any permanent structure, but the building, this is one of the biggest Melacha, right? I mean, with all of the application details that pertain to us on every Shabbos, right? So it's actually fixing things, attaching to the walls, right? Nails. I mean, if you have handle fall off of the faucet, so you're not allowed to attach it. Many other different applications. Okay. So part number 3. So we list all of the possible issues. So this from A to F, as you say, and all of the biblical melachas. Right. So that's when we say biblical, so if in the case of in a time of Sanhedrin, many people will get the death penalty for violating those. That's how serious it is. Okay. Number 3, practical applications. Important note: in all the cases, one must refrain from tearing letters or meaningful designs. Okay. So very, very careful don't, whatever you do, it's better to take, I would say, I always suggest to my students, take scissors. Scissors allowed to be used on Shabbos, and don't use the knife. Scissors are the best, right? Because you can do more precise. Okay, so practical application, 8 corks. 1 may use the corkscrew to remove the corks on Shabbos. Likewise, it is permitted to tear aluminum wrapper around the neck of a bottle. But as we said, if there is no writings, okay. So cork. So the cork, the problem with the cork, something. I mean, maybe I remember I saw it many years ago. We were over in somebody else's house, and they asked me to open the bottle. So, and I saw, I'm not sure why I did not open before Shabbos. That's a different issue. So I opened the plastic wrap, and it was writing on a cork. So we're not allowed to open like this. So what we did, we just push it through into the bottle in order not to destroy the letters. That was the only solution. Okay, care must be, so we're talking about corks. Care must be taken not to rip or break any letters while removing the corks or wrapper. Okay, so I mean he repeats every time, but as we said, it is a biblical Melacha. Especially for, in this case, it would be for constructive purpose. He wants to get to the bottle and to the cork. In the process, he would rip the letters, which is which is a problem. Carabin. One may use a device known as carabin to pierce the cork of the wine bottle, thereby extracting some wine without actually removing the cork. Okay, this is permitted because one is not creating a hole in a cork, but is pushing the cork particles inside the needle, aside as needle enters the cork. So it's very interesting. I never saw this device, right? We drink simple wine, right? With top the screw. That's it. It's the best. So it does not have any ring. Like straightforward. Okay, but it's very interesting here, right? So so this device, so the cork stays in place. They put something like some tube, whatever, right, to the bottom, I guess, and they say they do not make a hole, even if there is a hole, right? But explanation why is it allowed? Because it's not like pushing like off these particles of corks into the wine, right? But it just squeeze them aside. Okay, interesting technology. Okay, so they say there is no problem. One may connect or disconnect the aerosol can of this device on Shabbos. I know that's too much. I mean, people are too lazy, I guess. I mean, it's probably to this aerosol can probably to create the pressure, some kind of pump. I mean, that's crazy. All right, but for us, for our understanding, it's allowed. B, bottles with a strip seal. Bottles contain a seal covering the entire cup, which is opened by pulling the strip around the neck of the bottles. For example, wine bottles may be opened in a normal manner. So this thing you can open in a normal manner. Of course, I mean, as we said, it's proper to open it before Shabbos. So even though maybe you're going to drink this wine or not, it's one maybe yes, maybe no. But if it has this metal cup, and you have no problem to open up, right, the cup on Shabbos. But the problem would be with the plastic. So if you remove the plastic, the wine is still sealed completely, so you can store it. There is no problem. The thing with a double seal, one is a cup and one is or a cork, or one is a plastic. So we're afraid that somebody would do something to play with temper with our wine. So especially when some people deliver, so that's why we require double seal. But since it's in our house, that's what I'm trying to say. So you don't need this double seal. Continue. Bottle with we said that. Bottle cups. Okay. Metal, aluminum. Okay. So metal/aluminum. It is forbidden to open the bottle with a metal or aluminum twist-off cup, as long as the bottle is sealed with a ring attached to the cup. The cup cannot be screwed off and on. Okay, it's very simple. By breaking the ring, one created functional utensil, thereby violating Melacha of making bepatish. So same with wine, same with soda, right? But if you buy kosher wine kedem, I'm not sure what are they call kosher, like 100% kosher wine. I mean, they're kosher, but meaning Jewish wine, right? So it's kedem. So they do not have ring. And I think even in kedem juice, they don't have ring. I think maybe they do, but somehow I think that they don't. Continue. Plastic cups. So huge. Whoa. So I just want to see how long. So. Okay, we're not going to finish, but okay, well, let's continue. Maybe we'll do. Number 2, plastic cups. Most poskim rule that plastic cups have the same halachic status as a metal cup, and it is therefore forbidden to open them on Shabbos. So why one more time again? Because when it's going to break off from the ring, so now you have a functional utensil. You can unscrew it and screw it back. Right? There are, however, some halachic authorities who are more lenient and permit opening the plastic cups. However, one should follow the stringent view. So, and I mean, it's very demeaning, but I saw a few times when nobody around the table, younger fellows, right, yeshiva kids, nobody would want to open the cup because they know it's not allowed, but so they would push to somebody else who is lenient. I'm not sure if he knew or not. I mean, the person is very prideful that he knows the rules, that it is allowed, and they push. Okay, you do it. So, but when you are in a company of people like that, so you follow the stricter rule. Don't go that leniently. Number 3, solution for opening bottles on Shabbos. So, as we said, it's dangerous. In the event that one did not open the bottles with a metal or plastic cups before Shabbos, following is several suggestions on how to open them on Shabbos. So if you're not very handy, so I would say better not to drink. Okay, well, let's see. Destroying a cup. Before opening the cup, one may pierce a hole in a cup with a hole large enough to render the cup unusable, even before the bottle is open. So technically, what you do, you put knife, right? Let's say short blade, strong knife, and you hit the knife and make a hole in the cup, and then you're allowed to unscrew it because it's useless. You can always not always, but you're going to throw out the cup. So what we usually do, in the case of that, things happen in life. So we keep we save like several cups like from each size, just in case you need to open this manner. Of course, you can open, but don't give it to kids, and if you're not good, if you're not handy, it's very dangerous to do that. Just so you know. B. Stretching the ring. That's another issue. I mean, stretching the ring. How do you stretch the ring? So this is the ring, and they try to do with a knife or with a fork underneath it, and try to pull it and open with the cup. I mean, of course, it's possible, but you can poke your eye out. I mean, okay, one may partially stretch the ring by inserting the fork or knife, exactly, and then slowly remove the entire cup of with the ring still attached. Okay, so that's the solution. How many people can do it? I mean, I saw people done it. I mean, but one more time, it's dangerous. Okay, C, loosening the cup. One may lose the cup up to the point where it's possible to squeeze the bottle and thereby obtain the drink. So basically, they lose up a little before the breaking point, and maybe if you turn upside down this bottle, maybe it's going to pour like this. I'm not sure. I mean, it's possible, but okay. So D, asking non-Jew. One may ask non-Jew to open the bottle. So that's I think that's the most practical solution, because all of these other things are dangerous. Now, number 4, asking another Jew to open the bottle. Here we go. Certain instances, even one who refrains from opening the bottles on Shabbos may ask someone who follows the more lenient view to open the bottle for him. However, one must seek halachic guidance to know when this applies. So I think some Sephardim, they follow opinion of Rabbi Zatzal, and I think he said there is no problem, you can open in normal way. So he was lenient. Why? Because he said it's disposable, you can do it. Okay. So Ashkenazim don't do it. Okay. Okay. So continue. So I mean, if you have a Sephardic friend over and you're Ashkenazi, so you can ask him. Okay. Okay. But it's proper. It's proper to open everything before Shabbos. So not to be in such a situation. Continue. Bottles with plastic pull tabs attached to the cup. That's another issue. Some bottles, for example, 1 gallon water bottles, are opened by tearing of the plastic pull tab, which seals the cup to the bottle. So you have this gallon. So you have to tear this thing, right, the plastic, and then you can open the cup. So as we said, it is not allowed. According to some poskim, it's forbidden to tear off the plastic tab because detaching the tab creates fully functional cup. So before cup was useless. Right? In addition, there are issues of transgression of the prohibition of tearing. So tearing and plus to the specification, meaning like you were going to tear from the whole exactly the same piece as you intended, right? In the event that the bottle was not opened before Shabbos, the plastic cup and the plastic tab can be removed simply inserting fork or a knife under the tab and remove the cup along with the tab. So I would say this one would be much more safer than working with the soda bottle. So this gallon, right? So you put well, it's milk. It could be milk, right? So even milk today, many of them have this the screw cup. Does it have a ring? I don't know. Maybe yes, maybe not. I'm not sure. But this tear off pull tabs, so it's easy to use a fork, and you can take it out. But one more time, be careful because of course it's dangerous. E, sports bottles. There are various types of bottles known as a sport bottle. which come with easy open sport cup. Okay. The most common type, for example, the one currently produced by Poland Spring, has a cup which, when initially lifted, causes the safety seal around the cup to break. Okay, so they pull, right? They lift it, and the safety seal breaks, of course. Although it may seem that although it may seem that through this action, one is perfecting the cup by making it usable, the rings that breaks apart are not actually part of the cup, rather than embedded in a cup and not around the bottle. Thus, when opening a bottle, one is not perfecting the cup itself, and therefore is permitted to open this type of sporting bottle on Shabbos. So basically, it does not attach, it does not hold this cup to the bottle itself, right? With this sport cup, you don't need to remove the cup, to unscrew the cup. You can keep this the cup there. You just pull this thingy. Okay, so that's why they say we can go leniently here. Okay, so let's see. So let's see next one. F, installing water cooler bottles. That's another issue. Okay, water cooler bottles, typically 5-gallon bottles, may be inserted in a water cooler dispenser on Shabbos. One may be inserted. One may do so by peeling off the protective label. Okay, placing the cup into the cooler, which punctured the cup, allowing the water to flow out. So let's try to understand. I mean, let's finish and we're going to explain. Note: prior to installing the new bottle, one should ensure that the cooler is not totally depleted of water. Otherwise, when placing new bottle into the machine, one will definitely cause the cooler to turn on. Wow. That's wow. Okay, so let's try to understand. So we have this. Some people have it at home. Some people, most of the time, the offices would have it these 5 gallons, right? And in order to install it, you have to tear the peel off the seal, right? So okay, it does not attach permanently. That's why it is allowed to peel it off, and you have to take off this protective cap, whatever is it, right? And then you turn upside down, and you puncture. There is still something cover the neck, right? Otherwise, you would spill the whole water out when you turn upside down. And they said there is no problem, and there is no problem. The only thing, I mean, that this is great, Rabbi. I mean, he thought of all of these details. At least he put them all together, which is, I think, it's brilliant. So he said, make sure that you have some water in there in the cooler. Why is that? Because cooler is used for cooling things, right? So if it was empty, if you took out all of the water from a cooler, so as soon as the water from this new bottle started going inside of this machine, guess what? The cooler is going to turn on. Cooler is an electrical appliance, and it would be turned on because of you, because of your action, right? But if it would be this container inside full with water from the previous bottle, there's no problem, right? It's not going to start running because of your action. Very interesting. Soda cans. Some poskim prohibit open soda can on Shabbos by lifting the top ring, okay, the top/ring. Okay, in the event that the can wasn't open before Shabbos, one can make a hole in the base of a can and then pull the top off or pull the tab partially. A non-Jew may be asked to open the can. I mean, it's if you understand, it's dangerous. If it's there is a pressure. Let's say if there is no pressure, if it's apple juice or tomato juice, I would say there is no problem. So they say puncture it on the side. There is no writings, of course, no pictures, no meaningful pictures, and then you can open normally, right? That's the thing. Okay, so I think we can stop here because I don't think it's possible to finish today. It's simply too much material. Any questions or what we said or any topic? Please go ahead.
Yes, Rav.
Yes, go ahead.
Yes. So would it be better to buy, as far as like tying the knots and stuff, would it be better to buy slip-on shoes for like men and stuff, or
no. There is no problem. Okay, I tell you, since you're asking, I'm going to tell you more about this tying. So if you have intention to untie when you come home, there is no problem whatsoever. The only problem is the lazy people who never untie their shoe, and sometimes once it's 7 years, it got untied accidentally. You know, these people. So this person is not allowed to tie the shoe, to the shoelaces. Why? Because for him it's permanent. For me, I always untie. There is no problem whatsoever. So you're not. If you want to buy a slip-on shoe, there is no problem. But there is no such obligation.
Okay, so tying and untying when I want to take off my shoes at home and relax, it's okay.
That's it. Yes. So because why? When you're going to tie, before you're going out to the street, or when you're going to come back in a few hours, you're going to untie it for sure, guaranteed. Right. So there's no problem with that.
Okay. A couple more questions.
Go ahead.
My girls, they like to like mix drinks for Shabbat, kind of make them a little bit flavorful.
Okay.
As far as like mixing them, and sometimes they'll turn the liquid a different color. Is that considered dyeing of food, or is that?
Okay, so it's good question, and we covered this topic maybe 2 classes ago. Okay, Baruch Hashem, I see you're asking all the good questions. So we said there is no coloring. Dyeing is coloring, right? So for people who do not know, so dyeing is coloring. It's one of the 29 Melachas, right? So what we did, we had the wool, right? So they shared the wool from different color sheep, and they had to dye it, right? First they dyed with a white, make it white, and then dye it in blue or red or all of beautiful colors. Right, so that's why it's one of the 29 melachas. So, and our sages say it does not apply to the food. So you can, because your intention is not to make it, beautiful. Even if you do have intention, let's say girls, right? They do have intention. It's still for consumption. But what is not allowed? So some fancy schmancy people, maybe in Manhattan, 5th Avenue, they would put like a centerpiece, like beautiful, maybe gold, maybe silver, right, dish, and put their water and color the water. Let's make it blue and put flowers in there. That was. So this would be forbidden to do on Shabbos, because you color the water, but for the purpose of decoration, not for the purpose of eating. So if it's for purpose of eating, there is no problem whatsoever.
Okay.
Go ahead.
And then as far as breaking bread, do we have to cut it, or can we tear it apart? The challah bread.
The challah bread, it's probably, I heard that some Sephardim rip it, but Ashkenazi custom, the way I understand it, it looks more appropriate, more neat when you cut it. So, and our custom, yes, it's to cut it. So, and cut it, and you cut it. You cut it in a big pieces. So just practical suggestion, because in order for your bread, it's from our Thursday class, right? in order for you bread to for you bread and for other people who are going to eat bread, so this bread is going to cover other food, they have to eat certain amount. And some people would eat only a little piece, and this little piece does not cover other foods. And in this case, let's say, they would have to make a separate blessing on all other foods. You understand? So because we said in order for this piece of bread to cover all other foods, you must eat this piece in 9 minutes. But we said in 2 to 3 minutes proper. So, but the most lenient opinion in 9 minutes. So if you cut only small pieces, so many people say, okay, I'm going to eat this piece and that's it. Why should I eat bread if there is a meat and fish and all of the beautiful delicacies on the table? You understand? So this practical advice to cut a piece, so like around 2 ounces. But it's not big, but 2 ounces. So everybody have to eat in 9 minutes. Otherwise, you cannot include them. For example, you're a big guy. You ate these 2 ounces in 9 minutes, and 4 minutes, let's say, right? And then you say Birchas Hamazon. You try to include everybody around the table. You cannot say for them because they cannot be included in Birchas Hamazon. They did not eat enough bread. So that's a very common issue, and many people struggle with that. And they think just because they listen to somebody else's Birchas Hamazon, they cover. They're not.
Okay. So the bigger the piece, the better.
No, don't force it. Don't force it.
Yeah.
I think one of the best investments that I advise to all of my students is to buy these digital scales. Right on Amazon, I bought my. I mean, it was many years ago. Maybe for $10, $12, maybe it's $15 now. Let's say everything went up in price. So it's up to, I think, up to 1 pound, like plus minus, right? So and you can weigh this bread, right? So you buy or you bake yourself bread. So you can put on a scale and see how much is like 2 ounces approximately. So and then you would know in order not to force people, but on the one hand, but on the other hand, they have to know that if they're going to eat, let's say, we have some guests. The lady does not want to eat bread. I mean, we don't force anybody, but we say if you're going to eat only small piece, so you would need to make the all other blessings, right? On the salad, on the fish, on this, on that, on soda. So because this bread is very good, but it's not going to cover anything, right? And plus, after everybody say Birchas Hamazon, you would need to say separate blessings. I mean, there is no problem, but the people need to know what to do, basically.
Okay. One more. I'm sure you've gotten this a lot, but as far as eating meat and dairy, we've heard that you would have to wait 6 hours to eat dairy after meat, and then we've also heard a minimum of 3 hours.
Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah.
So what would be?
Okay, yeah. So it was accepted custom among all of the Jews to almost all of the Jews is to wait 6 hours between meat and dairy, right? So, but some communities in Europe, they adopted more lenient ones. I think German Jews, I think they wait 2 hours, and Dutch Jews, whatever you mentioned, I think they do 3 hours. It's some other, like a separate community, they adopted this leniency. I don't know why. I mean, it was a long time ago, but do they? If they know, if the people came from those communities, they know for sure that's their tradition. They have to follow. But people who, for example, Baal Teshuvah, who were not religious, and their parents or grandparents were not religious, so when they are converts, so for them it's 6 hours. That's a straightforward halacha for everybody, unless you know otherwise. So if you know otherwise, if you know your tradition, that's what you do. So 6 hours.
Okay, 6 hours. Okay.
And same, since we're on the topic, I want to add something which is a little confusing for other people. So how long you wait from dairy to meat, right? So if you ate like you drank milk, you drank coffee with milk, right? With the creamer, whatever, right? So some people wait 30 minutes, right? Some people wait 30 minutes, but some just like rinse their mouth, right? And eat something hard, like porridge, whatever, piece of bread, something, right? And they can eat, they can drink milk. The issue with it is the hard cheese. And hard cheese is a cheese, usually when you see it's first of all, it's very expensive. You cannot miss it. So if a regular cheese costs like, I don't know, like $6 a pound, $7 a pound, or something like that. So this would cost like, I don't know, $15 a pound, right? And have holes usually, right? So to cure the cheese takes minimum 6 months, right? So this hard cheese, from after this hard cheese, we also wait 6 hours. You understand? So from all other day less, but this hard cheese 6 hours. Okay, go ahead. Any other questions? Okay, no problem. So we stop here. Thank you very much. So prepare your questions. You can send me in a text if you want to. If you're shy, we can answer after the class. Beezrat HaShem. So until tomorrow. Tomorrow we're going to learn Kitzur Shulchan Aruch. Thank you and good night.